Morning everybody, how are y'all doing today? I'm doing great, but if you're one of the 5 people who enjoyed Concord, you're probably not, because today is the day the game is being shut down. Now, this actually worked out well, because I wanted to have this video up like 2 or 3 days ago, whenever the announcement was made. But unfortunately, my entire life is not just sitting at a desk making YouTube videos, so that did not happen. But I figured this video is still appropriate considering today is the day the servers go offline. Hell, they might be offline right now, I actually don't know. Now, I'm assuming you all have heard the news right now, unless you've been living under a rock. But yes, 12 days after Concord's release, it is being shut down. It is crazy to think, this game was in development for 8 years. And when you factor in the cost of Sony buying the studio, this was probably an investment of somewhere around $200 million. We don't have exact numbers, but that's what the estimates are. Most people seem to be saying $210 million. And you know what they say, if most people say it, that means it's automatically true.
You really think someone would do that? Just go on the internet and tell lies?
Because obviously people have never lied on the internet before. But in all seriousness, even though we don't have the exact numbers, it's obvious that many millions of dollars were lost. And this honestly might be one of the biggest failures in all of AAA gaming. I'm not gonna say the biggest, because, I mean, as hard as it is to believe, I'm sure there must be something else out there that performed worse than this. Maybe, possibly, probably not. Now you might be thinking, why is that the case? Didn't it make some money? Well, maybe. We're gonna get into that. Let's go ahead and read this article real quick first. So PlayStation put out a tweet the other day saying an important update on Concord from Firewalk Studios, and they turned off replies, which honestly, I don't know if I blame them or not, but they linked this blog post, and by the way, comments are also off on the blog post. But given the reaction to this information, I can kind of understand why the replies are off. Alright, let's go ahead and read it. Concord fans, we've been listening closely to your feedback since the launch of Concord on PlayStation 5 and PC, and want to thank everyone who has joined the journey aboard the North Star. Your support and the passionate community that has grown around the game has meant the world to us. However, while many qualities of the experience resonated with players, we also recognize that other aspects of the game in our initial launch didn't land the way we intended. Therefore, at this time, we have decided to take the game offline beginning September 6th, that's today, and explore options, including those that will better reach our players. While we determine the best path ahead, Concord sales will cease immediately, and we will begin to offer a full refund for all gamers who have purchased the game for PS5 and PC. If you purchase the game for PlayStation 5 from the PlayStation Store or PlayStation Direct, a refund will be issued back to your original payment method. Customers who purchase from other digital storefronts will also be refunded. More information about refunds from Steam and Epic can be found below, and then they just show how to get the refund there. So I will give credit for this. They are refunding people, though they kind of have to be honest. You know, it wouldn't exactly be very legal of them to sell people something and then to take it away 2 weeks later. Like, at least Ubisoft gives you a couple of years, you know? Not that it's really any better, but whatever. I'll give them a little bit of credit for the refunds, even if they have to do it. But I just honestly find it funny how at the beginning of it, they say, oh, we'd like to thank everyone who joined us. It's such a passionate community, which I guess, to be fair, the few people who did play the game were passionate about it. I mean, I talked about some of them a couple videos ago. We got Wooly Gamer saying it was utterly perfect. So yeah, I guess the few people who did play it were passionate about it. Unfortunately, those passionate people aren't gonna make you your $200 million back. And somebody pointed this out, and when they did and I saw this, I absolutely lost it. Concord was alive for 12 days before getting shut down. A housefly lives at least 15 days on average. A housefly that was born on the same day Concord launched is still alive right now, and the game isn't. That is absolutely insane to think about. Now, I will say, I don't think they're just gonna shut it down and keep it down forever. I could be completely wrong on this, but considering they have to make the money back somehow, I think they're gonna try to re-release it one more time as a free-to-play game, and they're gonna have a bunch of microtransactions and all that stuff. Will it succeed? Probably not. But I mean, think about it. They have to try something. They're $200 million in the hole. Which actually brings me back to the point earlier about how this game literally made no money. We've seen games like Redfall and Skull and Bones, which sold absolutely disastrously, definitely did not make their money back, but at least they made a little bit of revenue. The same cannot be said about Concord because they're refunding everybody. So as of right now, this game has made $0 off of sales. The only way this game could have made made any amount of money back, I believe, is through sales of the controller. Because in case you didn't know, I didn't know myself, but yeah, they did make a controller for this game. That is crazy. In the end, the controller for the game will have ended up making more money than the actual game itself. Unless, again, they want to bring it back as free to play, but I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Speaking of bringing things back, I want to transition real quick to talking about some of Sony's old IPs. Because people have been asking for, what, over a decade now for Sony to bring back some of their old shooter IPs like Killzone. Well, the day after it was announced that Concord was getting shut down, the CFO of Sony came out and said this: whether it's for games, films, or anime, we don't have that much IP that we fostered from the beginning. Regardless of whether you fostered a lot of your old IPs from the beginning or if you bought the studios, you have so many old IPs you are sitting on that would be way more successful than something like Concord. Again, Killzone, because they didn't make the original because Guerrilla was independent at the time and then Sony bought them in 2005. But under Sony, Guerrilla made Killzone Liberation, Killzone 2, 3, and Shadowfall. I don't understand. The whole point of a business is to make money, but it feels like these companies are allergic to it sometimes. And I'm not even trying to claim that a new Killzone would be like spectacularly successful or anything like that, because I don't know. But what I do know is that it would actually sell some copies and maybe make some money back. And I can say with 100% confidence, you would not have to shut it down after 12 days. But who knows, maybe it's too difficult to insert diversity into Killzone. I don't know. Point is, they seem to be allergic to bringing back their old IPs, which would probably make them a ton of money. But hey, why do that when you can spend $200 million on games and barely have them make profit, or just not even have them make any money whatsoever? And now to finish this off, I want to take a look at some Concord tweets that aged very, very poorly. And don't worry, they're ones that I haven't covered before. First off, well, you'll recognize him. It's the guy who fanboyed for the game so hard he got Hard 8 and Puerto Rock to turn against him. 3:45 a.m. on a holiday, full games. Hashtag Concord. Fantastic. That means what? There were at least 9 other people online with you? Brilliant accomplishment. The brand new AAA live service shooter had 9 other people on.
Congratulations! 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 Congratulations!
Imagine thinking this is a flex, especially when you consider he said right there, this was a holiday. You know, a day people are off from work and school. Okay, maybe not work quite as much, but school definitely. At least I did. If you're in school and you didn't have Labor Day off, you suck. I'm just kidding. You're cool and I feel bad for you. Just imagine flexing that at least 10 people are playing a brand new game on a holiday. This is how you know these guys don't think before they tweet, or probably after for that matter. They just don't think.
And there seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere.
Moving on from that though, remember how I mentioned Woolly Gamer earlier? Well, we've got him next. Let's take a look. So he's quote tweeting somebody who was talking about how well the game is selling apparently. He says, I can confirm, under new games on PSN, Concord is the 6th best selling. No wonder it takes me 2 seconds to load into a game. Love to see it. First of all, I call cap that it takes you 2 seconds to get into a game, or should I say that it took you 2 seconds to get into a game. But also just notice how he tagged the Concord Twitter account at the end there, like he's seeking validation from them or something. Jesus Christ. Dude. This is honestly really sad, and it reminds me of a tweet I brought up a couple videos ago. Was it last video or 2 ago? Whatever. I brought it up, and somebody was saying that, oh, Concord is one of the best-selling games on PlayStation, when in reality, you have to sort by new for it to even come up. If you have to sort by new games to get a game to come up in the best sellers list, when it just came out, that is not a flex, and that is not a good thing. I'm sure when Redfall came out, if you sorted by newest games on Xbox, you would see that it was under the best sellers. It's really not an accomplishment, trust me. And now to end this off, I want to take a look at these 2 Steam posts, which were probably alts of the Concord devs because they were saying that people's jobs were at stake if we didn't buy the game. Let's take a look. I get having a little trolling fun. I used to browse whatever that is back in 2019, but you guys really need to lock in. There are hundreds, if not thousands of jobs whose lives depend on this game succeeding. Just food for thought before you gloat. And then somebody under that says, all of you people celebrate celebrating the fact that Concord is dying are not realizing this means 100 plus people's jobs are on the line. All these developers are going to lose their jobs and it's your fault. I hope you are happy. Edit 1. Just because you spam jesters doesn't mean you magically win the argument. As before, I will be reporting everyone I know to be using them for targeted harassment. Edit 2. There is an insane lack of empathy here. These people have livelihoods. Fantastic. You're gonna report people who give you a jester emote. By chance, are you 10 years old? Because this is something I would have done back in like elementary school or early middle school. You guys are so mean. I'm gonna report all of you. Christ in a basket. Alright, moving that aside, it is not the consumer's responsibility to keep the company's employees in business. If the employees made a bad game, or if the company chose to have them make a bad game, and it didn't sell well, that is not on the consumers for not buying it. I don't have to spend my hard-earned money on a terrible game just to keep other people in business. If they made a bad game, that's either their fault or the publisher's fault. Either way, it's not the consumer's fault. I get having empathy for people, and don't get me wrong, if people do lose their jobs, I will feel bad about it, but I'm not gonna act like I could have saved the game by buying a copy. And I'm not gonna feel bad about it either. Don't get mad at people for not buying a game they didn't want. It's not their responsibility to keep these devs employed. That's the publisher. Blaming the consumers is honestly like one of the most pathetic things you can do. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. So I guess before I go, I'll leave you all with this meme real quick, showing why a single carrot is better than Concord. Checkmate. Game deserved to fail. But in all seriousness, that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Like I said, wanted to have this up a couple days ago, but I feel like it's almost more appropriate now. So I'm not even mad that I had to wait. And I hope the video was worth the wait. So yeah, again, thank you all so much for watching. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will catch you all next time.